if it's working. I don't know if it is yet. It worked. Well, let's see. Did I get a... I haven't gotten a notification yet. I'm waiting. Confirm. Yeah, I know what those are. Those are the... Let's see. Yeah, I know about that. Okay. Well, let's see. Shows that the Art Foundry stream is live. Yeah, okay. Let's see. I don't know if the other one is. And honestly, I'm not going to worry about it anymore if it isn't. If it's working or it's not. So, let's see. Weirdly, this doesn't show it is. But this is showing it is. Okay, hold on. Let's see. This is saying this is live. Oh yeah, okay, there it is. Okay, good, good. So it's definitely working on the Art Foundry account. I don't know if it's working on the podcast account. And honestly, you know what? If it's not, I'm gonna stop worrying about it. I'm just gonna do it here, and people can just watch it here. Okay, so let's see if I've got the source for this right. No, so let me do the auto detect here. Let's remove this source and we'll just add a new one because I think this one I got to work last time. So, but I am just doing this very low stress and that's working. Okay, so you know what? All right, let's go ahead and activate that. Okay, so it looks like it is up and running. Okay, let's make sure it appears on the actual stream. Oh, I can't see it because it's behind that. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and move this. Oh, no, it's above. Okay, I just want to make sure. It is above. I want to make sure it was above that. So let's try this. It's not that. Let's try this. I don't think it's that either. Oh, it could be that. Hold on. That might be it. Let's find out. So we'll say test 1. That's it. All right, that's working. Shrink that. And let's do test 2. That's it. We're good. We're up and running. Okay, excellent. So I don't need, yep, I can see both of my posts. Let's go ahead and do this. And let me go over here and go to here. And I will copy this. Copy. Paste. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and do these all at the same time. Let's see. Where is the streamer? There it is. Paste and enter. And where is that? Sorry, this is because I'm on a new system. There it is. I need to go here and post there. So my shortcuts are a little bit wonky. There it is. This should fix it though. Go to General. Paste, go here, go to the art section. Where's the art section? Promos fun art, there it is. Post, or paste, well, paste and post. Promote yourself. I'm very grateful that so many of these places have. Oh, wait a minute, I heard the beat. Hey Furcorn, happy Monday to you. How are you doing? I hope well. Sorry, bear with me because I'm on a new system. I'm just a little bit behind on where I'm supposed to post this. Sorry. Where? Huh. That's weird. Was it in here? Yes, there it is. Okay. And let's see. But that's good. The chat's working. Astonishingly, the chat is working. I can hear you. Good. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. I will get my stuff up and running in 2 seconds. I'm just posting. There, that's the last one. Okay, that's done. I can close this. You can see the chat window, right? Like you can see it. I know it's hard to read at the moment, but wait a minute. You know what's weird? Why isn't the the Be Right Back thing isn't animated? Well, that's strange. Hold on, do I have the right file? Yeah, that's really weird. Why is it? Huh. Wait, is it this one? There it is. I had the wrong one selected. Okay, now it's moving. I was going to say, that should be moving. There we go. Okay. Sorry. Like I said, I had to... Oh, but that's the old one. That's not the new one. Where's the new one? That's the older style one. Where? Well, that's weird. Huh. Wait, let me make sure. Let me open that. Okay, there it is. I didn't reload it properly. That's the newer one. Yeah, got it. You got a new Monsters and My Singing Monsters. Does that mean there's a new one? I'm assuming that's what that means. Okay, that's done. I can close this window. Sorry, just give me a second. Okay, I'm closing all the stuff in the background that I don't need to have open anymore. Okay, perfect. All right, so then the only thing I have to still do is share. What is this? Wow. All right, let's see. Okay. I need to... Sorry. I'm going to do one more thing, and then we'll be ready to go here. Because I actually expected to encounter more problems. Oh, that's great. Just one, or is it a bunch? I don't know how the releases work with those. Is it something where there's a new monster just randomly, or do they do it at a certain time period? I know different things handle it differently, where some have periodically they add a new roster, or there's other ones where they just kind of do it whenever they feel like doing it. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. That's all done. So I've posted everywhere. I'm going to get a quick drink of water. Hold on. Oh, bear with me a minute. Hold on. I'll be back in a second. Okay, got it. Sorry about that. All right, move my keyboard. I'm going to leave this here. And I think we're good to go. I think everything's working. So, okay. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's undo the opening here. So we will do that. Fortunately, that worked right off the bat. And I think everything will just appear now. Let's see. QR code's good. Yeah, there it goes. And hold on, I just want to make sure. Yes, everything should be properly layered. All right, we're good. Okay. So we'll keep going here with Destro. All right. Oh, I have to remember. I can't remember how Destro's eyes are. Are they white or are they silver? I think they're silver. Hold on. Hold on. I just want to verify that. I'm pretty sure I did look this up last time, and his eyes are silver. Oh, yeah. Boy, that's such a weird... Or red. Apparently they're also red. Or green. Okay, so apparently they're whatever you want them to be. Or they're entirely blacked out. Well, I do want them to have eyes. Okay, the action figure has them as blue. The comics show them as silver. Oh, boy. Yeah, this is one of these things you run into. Okay, one of the cartoons shows them as green. Actually, you know what? I think the original cartoon from the 80s shows it as green, too. Interesting. Yeah. Huh. I could, but I'm not going to. I'm doing Destro for this stream. So, that's what I'm working on today. Oh, wow. Some of them have them with a gold helmet? Okay, well, I'm not doing a gold helmet. I'm going to stick with the original silver. I like the silver. Okay, so the question is green, blue, or red eyes? I think in the original cartoon they look like they're blue. Let's take a look. Yeah, a lot of... Okay, well, this one split the difference with green and blue as teal. You know what? Let's try that one. I'm okay with trying that color. I like teal as a color. So that's here. Let's go ahead and put a new layer. And let's do something like this and see how that looks. I don't know if that's going to look good or not, but we'll try it. Because this is kind of what the cartoon shows. I don't mind that. I think it might be better than just silver. Could try a couple different colors, but I'm going to leave that for now. That's not bad. I don't mind that. Okay, so everything else is silver. Then we have to do... Oh, that's interesting. There's a couple of variations with his collar. Well, I'm going to stick with what I had originally. Let's do the deep red for the inside, which is this layer or this layer? This layer. Okay, so let's go in here. Okay, obviously we need a paintbrush. Okay, there we go. And this should be under. Good, perfect. So it's under the silver. So that I don't have to worry about. I'll figure out what I want to do because his head, I've seen, there's some pictures I'm looking at where his collar is red and black. But then his outfit is also black. And then his head is silver. So it just feels like a not very much color in the actual image. So I'm not sure about that. You know, I'm going to use this thinner brush for this. Let me see here. My Singing Monsters is fine. Yeah, I don't have any problem with it. It's not really made for me. I'm a little too old for it, I'll be honest. But, you know, anything like that. Oh, wait, why is it not? Hold on. I just realized that hold on a minute. The reflector thing isn't updating. Hold on a second. Hold on. Let me fix that. Hold on a minute. Let me fix this. Looks like it lost its connection. So let me refresh the connection very quickly. There we go. Let's redo that. So just give me a second. Okay, there it goes. Looks like it's back. Just had to refresh it, I guess. Let's see. Oh yeah, there we go. All right, let me just make sure. I'm just checking to make sure there's no errors on that. Hold on a second. I don't know why it froze up. I mean, it does it every so often, but I just want to make sure that the system isn't giving me any issues. No, it looks like it's okay. Any of this stuff, like My Singing Monsters, Pokemon, any of these type of things where people get to do creature designs, I always like them because I like to see what creatures people come up with. That's honestly the neatest part, is I like to see where people kind of do different monster designs, because monster design is such a neat thing. I mean, it's been around forever, and it's one of those areas that I think is the best for people who are creative, because there really aren't any restrictions to it. A monster, because it's a monster, because it's not a person, right? You can do whatever you want, which is great, because then a lot of these is your monster from space? Is it from the middle of the planet? Is it from the ocean? Is it from fire? Is it from the sky? Is it a slime monster? That type of stuff is really interesting to me, because it lets people really just, if there's something in your mind, you just do it. And I think that's the best part of that stuff. So even the things, because like I remember Pokemon being really big for a while when I was younger. And I never got into it, but I always liked looking at the designs, because like I said, as somebody who is an artist, I like to see other people doing artistic things. And monsters are one of those the best areas that you can do stuff. Monsters, aliens, and science fiction, that type of thing all lets you just do whatever you want to do. There aren't really rules to it. I mean, there are to some extent. You still have to recognize certain things about a monster. Otherwise, it's just a big glob. You don't want to make a monster that's completely without any form, or something that people can recognize, like, okay, there's the head, or there's arms or legs. Like, literal blob monster, you can do it, but it's going to they all look the same. So what I like about most monster design is there's really two ways I see a lot of people designing monsters. One is they try to do it as if the monster has what you would, I guess, associate with a skeleton or something, where there's an internal structure, bones, a spine. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people who actually design monsters from the inside out, where they start and they're like, okay, this is where the inside spinal column is and the bones and everything else, and then they kind of work out from there. And then there are other people who don't care about that. They're like, well, I don't need this monster to make sense from an anatomy perspective. I just want to make something that's neat. You know, that's the thing. And I think both of those approaches are really interesting. I don't think one is better than the other. I think it depends on what you want your monster to be. But that's the thing, is one monster isn't better than the other. One way of doing it isn't better than the other. You had people who made really great designs that they could actually show you a cross-section of the monster and say, well, here's where all the internal structures are. And it makes sense from an anatomy perspective. That's great. And then there are other people who make something and it makes no sense. I mean, it's like Godzilla. Godzilla doesn't really make any sense because a creature that large on Earth would not be able to stand. There's a limit to how big something can be. I don't know what the theory or what the scientific explanation, but there's a limit on how large something can get before it collapses under its own weight because of gravity. Right? So Godzilla doesn't make any sense. You could never have a Godzilla. That's why, for a long time people have talked about the Loch Ness Monster. And one of the reasons that there's probably not a Loch Ness Monster, I mean, I can't guarantee there isn't one, but there's almost certainly not one, is because it couldn't possibly survive where it would be. There's not enough food, and the area is not big enough. And that's one of the reasons why, before people really got into the anatomy of it and understood it better, you could think there was something there, but it really doesn't sound like there could be, because it wouldn't be able to survive in that particular area. So that type of thing is one of the aspects I like about monster design, because it doesn't matter. If you want to make something that makes sense, go ahead, make something that makes sense. If you don't, then don't. There's not a restriction there. You're basically free to do whatever you want to do. I think that's fantastic. So even, like I said, for stuff where I don't necessarily have any interest in, because I don't know, again, I'm going with Pokemon because it was everywhere when I was younger. You just couldn't get away from it. I don't know anything about it at all, really, outside of the very basics of it. But I always liked looking at the designs of the creatures because that was the neat part to me. I couldn't care less what the story is or the cartoon or how it works. I mean, I understand, there's capturing them, training them, they change forms. The change forms thing is neat too. The idea that they change what they are as they get more powerful. That, again, that's the stuff that interests me. So anytime I hear about any of this stuff, even if I'm not interested in it as and how it works or ever knowing the story or playing the game or whatever, I like looking at the creature designs because it's one of those areas where people just get to go crazy. And some people don't. Some people do very recognizable, creatures that sort of look like dinosaurs. That's fine. But then there's other ones that just look like nothing that's ever been on the planet. And I like that too. So I think all that stuff, anytime that people get to create stuff, I'm all for it. If somebody's able to come in and bring a design or an idea in their mind and they're able to make it work and they're able to do that, nobody cares, and it works inside of whatever the game or the cartoon or the system or whatever is, I'm all for it. That's what I wish there was more of. I like the idea that everybody can find something, whatever it is, and people are creating things that appeal to them inside that thing. Whether it's monster designs or whatever. I'm for as much creative access and options as possible for everybody. So that's how I look at it, to be honest. So yeah, I've looked at some of the singing monster designs and they're neat looking. I like that type of stuff. Okay, I've got all that. And yeah, that's the thing is, because some people I know, because there was another one too. There was something in between. I can't remember what it was called. There was something else, and I remember at the time people were like, "Oh, it's a Pokemon ripoff." And whether it was or it wasn't, I really don't care because again, people were making neat designs for it. So what do I care? If you want to get angry about that, I guess you can, but I just don't. I look at it as, it's another option for people to be able to make stuff that they like to make. And I don't think it was a ripoff in terms of the... Hold on, I think I have to cough. I'm going to mute for a second. Yes, I definitely did need to cough. Hold on. It's probably because my throat's dry. Let me drink some water. Hold on. I don't think any of the story stuff was a ripoff. I think it was just that because it was a bunch of monsters that changed their shape, people went, oh, well, that's a Pokemon ripoff. And I don't know if that's really fair or not. But like I said, design stuff, that's one of the reasons I really like the Muppets and the Muppet Shop, and where they make these really interesting not creatures, but they make these puppets that, the neat part about the Muppets and the Henson Shop stuff is they are really good at making puppets that seem real, that move in a way that seems realistic, and you can kind of recognize this real physicality in them. I'm going to lighten his head up. I don't like how dark it is. And that, I think, is one of the neatest parts about the Henson Shop. Still want it to be recognizable as silver. I just don't know if it's too dark. Okay, that's probably better. I mean, I'm going to be dropping the background out anyway. All right, so this outside part is basically black leather. So the trick with that is you don't want to make it pure black, because then you won't be able to see the actual clothing. Oh, thanks, Furcon. I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't know why. I always liked Destro, even though I think I said this in the last stream. I was never that big in G.I. Joe. I really wasn't. But I always thought Destro, I think because he was so different looking. He just looks so different from all the rest of them. And I think that's what I like about him, is he's just got this very specific look, which doesn't make any real sense. I mean, I can't imagine somebody actually wearing a metal helmet like this all the time in black leather. I imagine that you'd have to have an internal air conditioning system. Otherwise, you would just overheat in 2 seconds. But hey, it looks neat, so I really don't care. It just doesn't make any actual sense. It really doesn't. But again, whatever. It looks neat. And I'm okay with something that doesn't make any sense looking neat. That's okay. Doesn't always have to make perfect sense. Now, that is not pure black, but it's pretty close, so I don't know if black's going to show up on it. We'll have to see how we'll do that. Actually, before I get... Oh, no, I can leave that. Before I get too far, let me turn that off. Because leather is more of a... Let's go with pure black. Let's make another... Do I have a black layer here? I probably do. Yes, that's a black layer. Let's use that. And let's do... Okay, well... Actually, I probably could use that, couldn't I? Oh, yeah, Happy New Year. I'm sorry, I forgot too. And now that we're more than halfway through January, I keep forgetting. But you're right, Happy New Year. Because, yeah. Yeah, 2020... Ooh, no, that's too small. Hold on a minute. Okay, that's fine. Actually, let me shrink that down a little bit. Just so it's not terribly big. I want it to have a little bit of flexibility to it. Yeah, Happy New Year. Sorry, I forgot to say it too. So, okay, let's do that. We'll have this come up, wrap in, and then let's see. Let's bring this. No, not like that though. So we gotta try to wrap that in like that. X, X, X. We're gonna wrap this down and come around. Actually, you know what I should do? I should not really worry about that line there, because it's not going to matter. I'm going to go over it anyway. That. Okay, so we do that. Black, black. All right, now. Let's clean those edges up really quick. There we are. Oh, did it freeze again? Yeah, it did. That's really weird. I wonder why it keeps freezing like that. Huh. Yeah, it froze right after I did that first line. Hold on. Let me do this real quick. Unfreezing, it's usually pretty easy, though. I gotta say that. So if I just do that, and then, yeah, see, you're still seeing the old one, and I do that and go back. There we go. Okay. Well, it's easy to refresh it, at least. Yeah, I don't know why it does that. I don't know why it's getting hung up that way. But that's a different problem to fix a different time. I'll make sure that the software is updated. I think it is, though. I'm pretty sure. Oh, that's why that's taking so long. Yeah, 2025. I always like years that have a nice kind of hard edge to them. 2025, 2030, 2035. You know, I like the fives. It appeals to me as a numbering for years. The odd number, the harsh odd number. I like it. Off to a rocky start in California with all the fires, but fortunately I'm pretty sure they've got them under control now. So, I mean, it's going to be tough on the people who lost their homes, and there were a lot of them. There were a lot of people, but at least they've, as far as I know, the last thing I saw, it seemed like everything was relatively under control, or at least not, it wasn't at the level it was, so that's a plus, but yeah. Yep. Sucks. Fire's one of those things. It can happen anywhere, anytime. And if you don't get it immediately, boy, it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much. We've been very, very lucky over the years here. We've never had one come all that close to us. It can happen, though. I mean, it could literally happen. In the course of this stream, something could happen, and by tonight, our house could be gone. That's the thing with fire. You just don't know. So I would tell people, I don't know if anybody who was watching this is in an area that's prone to fires, but if you are, have a plan if there's a fire to be able to get out. Just have a couple of backpacks just set aside to throw things in very quickly. One for my wife and I, and one for our dog. So just have that stuff. Doesn't take long. It doesn't have to. You don't have to go crazy. It's not like I'm not like one of these people who spends $1,000 on being able to go live in the woods for 100 years. Like, I'm not a survivalist or anything, but when you see that there are fires like that and that people have very little time to get out of their houses, it's not a bad idea to at least have an idea of what you'll do. And that doesn't have to be fires either. That could be a flood or anything else, you know. If you're lucky, you'll never, ever, ever have to worry about it, and that's great. And I hope nobody watching this or listening to this ever does have to worry about it, but it can happen. Unfortunately, almost no place in the world is free from any type of natural disaster. It could be flooding, it could be tornadoes, it could be earthquakes, whatever. So you should have, I would tell you, like I said, a lot of people, and certainly I was like this for a long time, you think, no, there's no way. That happens to other people. Well, things can happen quick. So at least have a plan that if something happens of any kind, you know, that you know what to do, or you have an idea of where you'll go and how you would stay in contact with people. It's just a good idea. It's just a good idea. Because like I said, you know, I'm sure most of the people who, if not all the people who lost their homes in LA, probably never imagined they'd have to worry about a wildfire getting to them. LA is one of those places you just didn't associate with those type of fires. Not that there were never fires. You know, there could be fires anywhere, but that they would be everywhere. That they could be there. All right, Furcon Way, have a, I don't know if it's lunch or dinner for you, but enjoy whatever you're going to eat. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out. And again, Happy New Year. And yeah, it seems like I've got my stream issues figured out, so we should be getting back to the usual later streams. This was actually kind of a test to see if I had fixed what I thought I fixed. So this is a little bit earlier than usual, but I figured, well, I've got the time. Let's see if this thing is working. And I think I've got most of the outside of the freezing thing, but I'm looking at that. I'm not going to worry about that too much right now because that did happen before. I'll just see what's going on. But anyway, thanks for stopping by, and Happy New Year, and, you know, see you the next time you're able to pop on here. All right, let's see. So that, I probably need to lighten that just a bit. Yeah, that's better so you can see it. And then I think I'm going to go with, yeah, I think I'll go with another gray for the collar instead of a red, because that is kind of what it looks like on the actual images. So I'm going to stick with that, I think. Yeah, I'm just looking at a couple of different images, and that's generally how it looks. So, yeah, I'll stick with that. I don't mind that. I could probably drop the background out now. Oh, forgot about that. Yeah, there we go. Yeah. I can turn the... Where's the pencil layer off? There it is. That's probably that. Yeah, I can turn that off. So let's grab this color. And I don't know that I'm going to use that exact color. Probably not. But what's this? Oh, that's the... Is that gray? Yeah, so let's go under that. Let's just... Whoa, okay, that's way too heavy a brush for what I'm doing here. Let me see here. Okay. Okay, it didn't freeze. Oh, yeah, it did. It froze again. Huh. It froze right after I picked the color. That's interesting. I wonder what's causing that. Hold on, let me look at my stats. I want to make sure. Oh, I thought it would display it there. Isn't there a way to have that display? Yeah, no, I mean, I'm at 5% CPU utilization. Yeah, that's what I would have... Interesting. Why is it only streaming at 30 frames? I thought I set it to 60, but maybe I didn't. Hold on, sorry. I don't think I can change this while... I'm pretty sure I can't change this while I'm actually streaming. That would be interesting. But custom navigation bar. Oh, I didn't know that was there. Huh. Well, that's interesting. Notifications, label sound. Okay, sorry. I'm not gonna look at the same one. Okay. Yeah, but I don't know why the little that used to show up down there. Okay, it doesn't matter. So I didn't realize it was at 30 frames. I'll change that to 60, but let me fix the mirroring thing really quick. So give me a second. There we go. Yeah, see, it comes right back. That's the odd part. So I don't know what's getting hung up there. But I'm not going to worry about it right this second. Just keep going here. We're just going to keep on moving along here. We'll worry about the freezing thing later because at least it seems easy enough to correct once I, realize it's happening. Actually, I'm going to turn the background back on just so I make sure I'm not missing anything. There. I don't think I am, but just in case. It's probably a good idea to keep it on there to avoid missing any spots, because it can be very easy to miss that stuff if it's dark. Yeah. So I just finished watching Star Trek V because I'm going to be doing a review of it tomorrow for the Star Trek series I'm doing with Dr. Douglas Bielmeyer, the composer and teacher. And boy, oh boy, if you've never seen Star Trek V, it's a very uneven film, which I honestly had forgotten a lot of it. And it's not uniformly bad. It has a reputation of being terrible. I don't think that's really fair, but there are parts that are really bad. So I think that's why it has the reputation, is because there are moments in that movie where it's just so... Actually, bad isn't even the right word for it. It's so shoddy at points. For a Star Trek movie, they really went cheap on some of that. And that certainly doesn't help. I mean, there are some questionable storytelling decisions too, don't get me wrong. There really are. But more than anything, I think it's what is surprising about it is just how cheap it looks for a major studio picture in the Star Trek franchise. You just don't expect that, especially because the movie before certainly didn't look cheap. Star Trek 4 looked pretty good. And then you go to Star Trek 5 and somehow it looks like it's 2 films earlier in the series in terms of how it looks like the money was spent. So it's weird. It's a strange thing. But anyway, I'm not sorry I watched it. It was fine. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't something that you sit there and go, oh man, why am I watching this? But there are some strange moments in it, that's for sure. All right, so let's go ahead and knock this brightness down a bit, just so it separates out from that other layer, like that. Yeah. Okay, that I like better. All right, so now let's see. In the pencil areas, did I not put these all in a group? I really didn't. Wow. Well, that was dumb. Let's group all these together. This is basically the line work, so we should group this stuff. Hold on a second. Bear with me. Let's group that up. Now, if I turn that group off and I turn this back on... Oh, I did do... Okay, good. I did do kind of some shading lines in there. So we're going to put this group above, and then we will turn this group back on. Oh, no, but I already did all of them. Okay, so that was the shading lines I did. Interesting. Okay. Huh. So... Well, actually, no, that's not... Let's see. Okay, hold on a minute. Let's turn that back off. Let's try something here. So we're trying to do essentially underlighting. Well, to some degree. So if we have it where... Let me think about this for a minute. I'm wondering if I need those lines. Some of these lines may not be necessary. I can't get rid of all of them, but... I don't know, I'm thinking. Well, okay, number one. Where is the lighting coming from that? Okay, now I have to try to find my reference photo, which I don't remember where it is. Well, actually, you know what? Well, hold on, let me look. Let me check something. Hold on a minute. Let me do this. Let me check something. I don't think it's actually on this iPad, but I want to look at something. Oh boy, yeah, I probably don't have it on here, do I? Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, so it is... It's on the Mac. It's on... So it's coming from the lower left, lower right. Okay, got it. Yeah, that's fine. That's what I thought. Okay, let me come back to the thing. There we go. So if it's coming from the lower right, that would make sense with somehow how this lighting is going. Okay. So if it's coming from lower right, then that would mean the shadows would be coming from essentially here. Or so that's where the light is. So let's go to the red. Actually, let me start merging some of these. I don't need all these layers to be separate. Definitely don't need all this to be separate. Where's the color? Not that. Where's the actual color part? Okay, well, these don't need to be separated anymore. That's fine. That's the lower end. That's okay. That's part of the color too. I just want to put all these together so that we have all this stuff in one spot. Okay, that's color. Merge down. Here we are. That's the top, so merge down. That's your collar. That's the outer collar. Move the circles up. We're going to go ahead and merge those down. That's your collar. There we go. Where's this? That's the ear. Okay, well, these don't need to be separated anymore. What is this? Oh. Is that literally just that one part of the head? It is. Okay. And that's fine. I just got to put them together because, again, these don't have to be separated anymore. That was when I was putting all this stuff together in the first place, but that's really sort of pointless now. What is this? Oh, this is the eye, and that's the eye. Well, the eyes can be together now. They're not going anywhere. Interesting. Okay. All right, so, right. Okay, so shadow lines. Let's go up here. All right, let's just do that, and then we'll go ahead and lower that, brighten this down a bit. Yeah, 40's fine. We'll go with 40. Let's see how 40 looks. So if it's underlit, the shadow wouldn't be there. It would actually be, hold on, let's get rid of this. Shadow would be more up here. So something like that, maybe. Just color that in here. This is just kind of, I'm just working some things out. So none of this is necessarily permanent. Just trying to figure out where things would go. And this would probably, okay, now here's a tricky bit. Be something like this. If we're doing underlighting, it would come this way. And then it would come up. Okay. There's probably going to be some adjustment in this, but this is more of just kind of figuring things out. Because, yeah, that probably... Okay, so if the lighting is coming up, hold on, I have to think about this. Because spitballing lighting is not the easiest thing for me. So I'm just thinking about how the lighting, if it's coming from the bottom, would be. Oh, you know what it would be? Okay. No, I got it. What it would actually be is, geez, it froze up again? Why does this keep freezing up like this? This doesn't make any sense. Okay, hold on. It's freezing up a lot. I mean, it's not a big deal because it's easy to... Oh, wow. Oh, that's interesting. Apparently, the reflector app just completely crashed. Okay, well, that hasn't happened before. Hold on, let me relaunch it. That's new. So, hold on. Let me make sure there's not any update for this. Check for updates. Let's make sure. Nope, says up to date. Okay. Hold on. Let's see if it comes back. Okay. Go. Give it a second. It should come back. Wait, I think I typed the code right, didn't I? Yeah, there it is. Okay. Strange. Anyway, all right. Now let's do a highlight color. Yeah, I don't know why that's having a problem, but it most certainly is. Like 65. That's probably good. Okay. So this would be lit from the bottom, so this would actually catch the light pretty well, because this would be a an upper surface. Yep. And then probably like in here would be lit because it's that curve will catch the light. So I would imagine that's gonna catch it. Okay. Actually, let's do this a little more rounded to follow the actual curve of the nostril there. And then this probably, what am I on? Yep, that's fine. Let's bring that in like this. There we are. Okay. That's probably, this area is probably going to be dark because it's, oops, I just realized I missed a spot. Because it's behind where this would be. So probably something like that. And then probably this would be dark because of where it is on the face, and there's like a curve in front of it. So we'll fill that in. The bottom of the eye, that might actually catch the light. So we're going to leave that alone for now. All right, do that. Okay, and then this would likely be dark. This would be in shadow, I should say. Not dark, but in shadow. Because, again, it's a fold that's behind the major features of the face. Chin I'm going to have to look at. I'm going to have to think about for a minute. That would catch it. That would be okay. This area would probably actually catch some light, I would think. Because it's the upper part of the eye. Okay, so that would probably be light, which would be the same here, I would say. Should be the case right here. So we will wipe that out a little bit. Okay. I mean, I'm doing this all just kind of from nothing. I'll freely admit I am not the best at lighting. So, you know, it's not like I'm really good at doing stuff like this. So I'm just kind of logicking this out in my head. It doesn't mean that it's right at all. It could be completely off. Actually, let's do this. Let's have it curve down like that. Could be very, very off. No reason to think it isn't. So I will have to... The reference photo doesn't show the shadow really well, so let's see if I can find an alternate one that's got like a similar pose on the face. So, yeah, like I said, this may be very, very off and may get changed quite a bit. But for now, I'm going to just stick with it because it's workable enough. So bring that in. Yep, so do that. That part of the color actually should be black. So where's those blacks? There. Let's knock the black back in. And we'll do that. Yep. And the same thing here. That should really just be blacked in. That should also be dark gray though. So let's get back to that area. And we'll go back to here. There we are. Okay. Because that would be in shadow. Yeah, there's some bits of this that are going to be tricky because like I said, I'm going to erase that in a second. I'm not the best at this stuff. Like lighting type of thing. There are people who can handle light so well. And I would not really consider myself one of them. I mean, I'm just doing this what kind of makes sense to me. But I don't know if I'm way off on it. Could be. Could be. There is probably a dark area right here. Follows the curve of the neck fold. So we'll do that. And it hasn't frozen again yet, so that's a good sign. For now. Probably something like that. Again, we'll clean that up in a minute. Let's clean that. And let's clean that. All right. Okay. All right, now here's a tricky bit. Because there's got to be more highlighting up in here. Has to be. There's no way it would just be that. So it's probably... Probably in here, maybe. I'll say a little bit. Just like does that. Yeah, that's probably good. It would probably be where the eye comes up. Where the eye comes up. Let me look at it. Let me see if I can find an image. Underlit face. Oh, I think I'm gonna sneeze. Oh, I'm definitely gonna sneeze. Oh, I'm gonna mute it. Whew, boy, did I sneeze. Okay, underlit face. Yeah, okay, well, it would be, wow, that one is amazingly creepy. Okay, here's one that's sort of similar. Okay, this isn't bad. So that's showing, all right, so I'm just looking at it. Sorry, I'm looking at it in the background. So most of the stuff I've got here is pretty much on point. Not bad. Not bad. Okay. Yeah, a lot of this is fine. Okay. So it's got a lot more of the eye socket area in brightness. Okay. So it's showing it kind of like this. You know, the person I'm looking at, the model on this picture, obviously doesn't have a metal face, so there are some differences. But, you know, I'm just looking for something that's making sure I'm not completely in the wrong. And some of this is contradictory, because in those images, this black area here should be white. But, you know, I'm sticking with what I'm doing there. Okay. Okay, so, yeah. And the lighting on this model is a little bit directly under as opposed to the side, but not enough that I think it really matters. Oh. Well, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I see what I did wrong here. Okay, hold on. I did make a mistake somewhere, which is right here. So this should not be, yeah, that should be dark gray. That should not be black. Yeah, I see what I did here. That's fine. Actually, where's the pencil work? Yeah, good. Okay. Just making sure. This should actually be gray. So I'm going to go ahead and erase all this. And the black part should be on the bottom lip. I had a hunch I had that wrong. Yeah, so essentially what should be is this gray here. Got it. This should be on this line. So like that. I'm not worried about the fact that I can't see it at the moment. I'll figure that out in a second. Turn that off. Okay, I need to erase at least some of this so I can see that line. And I can come back with the white in a minute. Yeah, missed that. Okay. So that's this? Yes. So this needs to be here. Right? Do that. And then I'll come in with this color above it. And we'll just shade that over. Oh, I heard it. Hold on, I heard something. Oh, hey, Timber Dragon, how you doing? Happy New Year. Okay, let's shade this. Bring that up and around. Bring that down. Okay. Bring this down easily. Oh, it froze again. Hold on. Sorry, it froze again. I'll show you what I'm doing in a second. Now I'm having a problem where this thing keeps freezing, which is better than it crashing. I haven't had the crash happening again, but it doesn't make any sense why it's doing that. So let me do this. Go back. There we go. Okay, now we're back in. Yeah, I don't know why that's freezing now. It's easy to get it back most of the time, but it's a little baffling and annoying, to be honest. All right, back to the black layer. So on the black layer, good, that's great. Back on the black layer, so it basically would follow most of that. Interesting, okay. Well, yeah, that makes sense. So so most of this will actually be blackened out. Okay, the only problem with doing that. Yeah, I'm a moron. I know what I need to do here. I got it. I did this slightly, well, not slightly, quite a bit wrong. So this should follow that. And then the white one should be the whole top, or the lighter silver should be on the top. Yeah, that's exactly what I should have done. Well, you know, that's okay. So I got to take this. Hold on, let me jump back to here. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Yeah, that was whatever that was. But yes, I saw that several things that ByteDance owned, the company that owns TikTok, all went offline. I think they're all back now. I don't know if, I think Marvel Snap was also down for a while. Honestly, the whole thing is such a joke to me because banning TikTok, and I don't care about TikTok. I've said this before. I don't care. I'm not on there. So it really doesn't matter to me, but I'm actually really surprised they even let the ban happen at all because it just doesn't make any sense banning an app because, of course, as soon as they did that, then there were copycat apps that came up that were really popular. So it was like, what are you going to do? You're gonna ban every single time somebody comes up with a new app, you're going to ban it. And I talked about this on one of my short shows. I said the bigger problem for me is they're not addressing the problem here. I mean, whether there's spying for the Chinese government going on in TikTok or not, I don't know. I don't work for a security service. I can't tell you whether there is or not. I won't exactly be shocked if there's data that's going back because every app we use is collecting data on us. And that's the thing is, if that ban had been a part of a thing that said, okay, U.S. citizens can't have their data spied on, that would make more sense to me. I'd say, yeah, no, that's great. Let's do that. Let's have it where your information, it isn't just by default taken from you, that you actually have to agree to it and know what you're agreeing to. If that's what was being done, then I'd say, yeah, okay. No, that's a good idea. We should be doing that. People should know what's going on with their data, where it's going, who's got it, who's buying it, who's selling it. Like, I'm all for that. That's not what it was. It's just a bunch of political nonsense, which, hey, this whole country is a bunch of political nonsense. So I barely even paid attention to it. I saw the news items that it was down. I was not shocked that it came back pretty quickly. And I think the whole thing was basically just a big waste of time. What else is new? So, like I said, if they want to get serious about protecting your information and who's tracking you, I'm all for that. Let's do that. But I don't think that's what they're really trying to do. They just decided correctly to a degree that, hey, you know what? If we go after a Chinese company, we'll get some headlines and people will go, yay, you're fighting China, they're evil or whatever. And that's it. You're exactly correct. Why bother solving the real problems when you can do something that people just think is doing something? But you know what? I was talking to my wife about this last night. I said that the truth is, at least in America, I can't speak for other countries. I only live here, so I don't know. But at least in this country, honestly, people who can vote are as much to blame as politicians at this point. We really are. Most people don't even vote with any type of information. They just vote based on stuff they read on Facebook or an email that somebody sent them or whatever, and they don't actually do any research. You know, I've said this before. I do blame voters as much as I blame anybody else at this point. I think they're as much responsible as the politicians. Don't get me wrong. Politicians are to blame as well. But if we as voters got rid of these people based on the things that they did, they wouldn't do them. It's that simple. But we don't. In this country, we vote based on team dynamics. Like it's a sport. You're either on this team or not. Forget whether you actually did what you said or not. Oh, this letter's next to your name? Well, then you're good or bad. Okay. Got it. Well, don't be shocked when nothing is the way you think it should be. Because you enabled that. So I can't... It's very, very easy and it's very, very popular to just say that all politicians are terrible and they're the reason, blah, 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 everything's bad. Honestly, can't blame them for everything. Politicians are just people, and they're accountable. Let me use actual, English words, like I could speak the language. They're accountable to people. If people hold them accountable, they don't do things that they shouldn't be doing. If people don't, then, I don't know, stop complaining. Honestly, that's just how I look at it, because I think about the fact that I see people posting things in different places with that are clearly just not informed. Posting things that are absolute nonsense. And the thing is, and I'll tell you what, if you haven't noticed this, and you probably have, but if you haven't, here's a really easy way to tell whether somebody is posting something because they actually know what they're talking about. Is, did you see somebody else somewhere else post the exact same thing, literal same wording, same way? If they did, and that person doesn't know what they're talking about. I think I have to cough. Hold on a minute. And sorry, I'm going to stop talking about this because this shouldn't be a political stream. I'm whatever. That's not the point of it. The point of it is to have fun. And unfortunately, politics just makes people angry now, so what's the point? So I'm going to stop talking about it. But anyway, yeah, the TikTok thing was nonsense. I'll leave it at that. That was nonsense beginning to end at every level. So I actually, honestly... right, yeah, Red Note, that's exactly it, yes. Right, yeah, you are absolutely correct that banning an app doesn't solve the core problem because somebody will just make another app or there will be another app that people will go to. You are absolutely correct. That's why it was dumb to begin with, and I was actually really surprised they even went through with it because it wasn't going to be effective. And that part's not even political. It's just that you ban an app and somebody else, there's almost, there's 10 of every type of app there could ever be, right? So banning one app doesn't actually stop anything. So yeah, I'm really surprised they did it at all because you would think that somebody would have gone up to somebody else and said, well, yeah, but there's like 10 other apps just like it. Holidays were good. Holidays were very nice. Flew to New York, no problem. Oh, my wife did get food poisoning on the way back, but outside of that, everything was fine. So holidays were good. They're over so quick because I really do enjoy like the end of the year holidays. I think I've talked about this before. I like them. So I'm always kind of sad when they go away because then you're just kind of stuck with, you know, winter in general, which is fine, but it's not. There's no themes. Like January is a very kind of dull month. Nothing really happens. February, at least you have Valentine's, so you'll see, you know, Valentine's stuff around, but then you get March and April and May, and until really you get back to Easter. I mean, St. Patrick's Day, I guess, but there's not a big, huge. There aren't as many big, huge things in the first half of the year. You don't start getting that until basically July 4th and then after. Once you get into autumn, and then everything becomes a different color. So you get, you know, everything changes themes. So, but it was good. It was good. Hopefully yours was too. Yeah, so holidays were good. Cannot complain. Okay, well, I think, yeah, that freezing thing is really weird. I gotta get to the bottom of that, but I'm in a good position. We're at an hour anyway, so this is probably a good time to stop because, hold on. Yep, iPad is definitely warming up. And I did forget to charge it, so actually I don't know what the battery level's at, but it can't be that high up. So let's see. So, but you know what? All in all, let's see here. See, I miss snow. You don't get that in California. When we were in New York, it snowed one day, which was nice. It was Christmas Eve, so that was actually very nice. I like snow on Christmas. But other than that, there's no snow here. I mean, it barely even gets. Sorry, I'd be like, it barely even gets below freezing. Barely. And I mean barely below freezing. So, yeah, snow's one of those things I do miss from when I was younger. When it would snow, you know, in the holidays. It was great. Obviously, it's not great if you have to drive somewhere. So, if you have to drive it, be very careful. It's not like I never lost control of a car in the snow multiple times. So it's not fun that way. But I always love looking out and there's snow on the trees and snow around. Like, that's just... I do miss that, I have to be honest. Sorry, I should have said getting a drink of water. So, well, yeah. Let's see. I don't mind the cold. I like the cold. Cold doesn't bother me. So, that's where I'm a little different than most people. Whereas I enjoy the cold, but I hate the heat. So there are people who are the reverse. So, all right, let me do this. Whoops, I clicked the wrong thing. There we go. So, but I get it. Now, my wife hates the cold too. So, I know not everybody's a big fan of the cold the way I am. I completely understand that. So, yeah, if you don't like the cold, then winter is no fun. And snow and all that stuff is not nearly as entertaining if you don't like the cold. So I completely understand that. Believe me, I do. But seeing as how I like the cold, it's never really bothers me. But, oh, whoops. So, yeah, I'm going to wrap up the stream now. So, oh, it mostly works. That's good. Mostly the stream is working, so I think I've got the major problems wrapped up outside of that freezing thing, which I'm going to look into and make sure there's not something that I've misconfigured here. I don't think so. But anyway, use accessory. Oh, okay. I know what that was. Sorry. Anyhow, that's going to do it for the stream today. So thank you for stopping by and hanging out for a bit. And yeah, I think now I've got the major problems worked out. So I will be back to probably streaming at normal times starting next week. Hopefully nothing new pops up, but so far so good. And on that note, everybody, if you're watching this, depending on when, well, I'll say Happy New Year anyway. I mean, it's still going to be the first part of the year. And yeah. So like I say every time, go find somebody else who's doing something creative or find somebody that you like as a creator and support those people because they could certainly use your help. And if there's anybody that you know down in LA, hopefully they're doing okay after the fires, and you know there's support mechanisms for that too. So if you can, that's not a bad place to throw a few dollars either if you can to help people out, because yeah, that sucks. That's really rough. So hopefully everybody watching this is okay. If you are down there and anybody that you know down there is okay. But like I said, that's not a good place. Support the Red Cross or whatever mechanisms you can to help people, because it's going to be a rough rebuild for a lot of folks down there. Yeah. So anyway, on that note, thank you for being here. And until next time, thanks for hanging out and take care.